talk to me, say it's...
Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna. For those of you guys who don't know me, for those of you guys who already been subscribed to my channel, welcome back. So today I'm bringing to you guys 10 Netflix recommendations I suggest you guys should watch. But before I get into that, I kind of wanted to show you guys these eye contacts that I have on because I wasn't sure. I was kind of debating whether to do a review on them or not, but I was having a hard ass time putting them on. I barely got the gist of it, so I don't know if you guys would like me to do a review on them. Just let me know in the comments down below and I will definitely get that to you guys. So without further ado, these are 10 Netflix recommendations that I suggest you guys to watch, and yeah. Okay, so the first recommendation that I suggest is called What Happened Monday. This is a movie. It's around 2 hours or an hour and a half long. I don't remember exactly. But this movie is basically about septuplets who are born in an era where there's a one-child policy due to overpopulation. The grandfather decides to keep all 7 instead of giving the other 6 to the government, which is how it goes. And he decides to basically have the twins share each other's lives. So he names the twins by the days of the week. He basically raises them to basically know everything about each other and share their lives. Depending on the day of the week, that's the person that gets to go out. So on Monday gets to go out, Tuesday gets to go out. But basically the story unravels as Monday gets lost. She doesn't come back from work and they're like, you know, looking for her and wondering what happened to her. All these characters are played by the same actress, which I find fucking amazing because when I first saw this video, I was like, wow, she legit gave each character their own personality. And yeah, that's how the story goes. It's really interesting. I really liked the movie. My boyfriend didn't like it just because he said it was too predictable, which I can see it is a little bit predictable, but at the same time I feel like the storyline is really interesting, and I feel like regardless of it being predictable or not, it's a really good watch and I think you guys should watch it. My second Netflix recommendation would be Criminal Minds. So it's basically about this FBI squad who look for criminals and they look for cases that they need to solve. They basically profile the serial killer and they try to get him before he strikes again. This show, you can kind of compare it to Cold Case or Leverage, even Dexter in some way, but it's mostly about how the FBI solves cases. Each episode is like an hour long. There is like a lot of seasons. I'm not sure how many, probably like 12 as well, but it is also really interesting, so I think you guys should watch it. Another show I would like to recommend to you guys is called Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries is basically about this teenage girl who falls in love with this vampire. She doesn't know he's a vampire right away, but as the story goes, you know, she figures out who he is. She somehow always ends up in trouble and they always have to save her. It's really interesting. The story really changes a lot. There's a lot of plot twists like at every corner of the show, so I think that that's really cool. It keeps the show going. I actually stopped watching Vampire Diaries after like the 5th season because there just wasn't any more. That was like the last season at that time because I started watching it when I was like in high school or in middle school. I think they're already up to the 8th season right now, if I'm not wrong, but I think it finished because I saw something about, you know, the end. They also have like a post series that connects to Vampire Diaries. It's called The Originals. The Originals is about vampires as well, but the ones that were created like in the very beginning, like the origin of them all. I haven't actually watched that show, but I would watch it only if I finish Vampire Diaries because I haven't yet. So yeah, the only reason I'm recommending Vampire Diaries to you guys, even though I haven't seen all of it, is because I think I know enough to recommend it, and it was a show that really got me hooked. So yeah, it's really cool, really nice. Another show I would recommend to you guys, and I definitely think you guys should watch it no matter what, is called Good Girls. Good Girls just started, so they only have 1 season, but it's basically about this group of middle-aged women. You know, they're basically living their normal motherhood life, and they stumble across the idea of stealing from a grocery store. At first, it's just like a joke. They're kind of like, you know, like, the fuck, stealing from a grocery store, dude? Like, are you serious? But then after, you know, it kind of turns into something serious, and yeah, they end up stealing from a grocery store, and then from there goes, you know, a lot of drama and a lot of stuff. It gets really cool. I don't want to say too much because it is only 1 season, but I definitely recommend you guys watch it. I freaking love it. Another show I would like to recommend to you guys is called Dexter. So Dexter is about a serial killer who kills serial killers. He actually works for the Miami Police Department. He's a blood splatter analyst. He's always going to crime scenes and getting all the forensic evidence that he could get. The story is really cool. It actually took me a minute though to actually get hooked to it. I don't know if it was because like in the beginning the story is like, you know, telling itself before you actually get hooked to it, but I think like after the second, third episode in, I was already hooked. So just hang on. Like the first 2 episodes might not be as interesting, but it gets really interesting throughout the story. So yeah. Another show I would like to recommend to you guys is called Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is about a high school chemistry teacher. He's living his normal life, but he kind of like has a bit of struggles. You know, his kid is dealing with cerebral palsy. I don't know how to fucking say it, but he's basically sick. On top of that, he also finds out that he has cancer. So he stumbles across the idea of making meth. I don't remember exactly how he stumbles across the idea of making meth, but he basically stumbles across that idea and he decides that he wants to build a lot of money and make a lot of money before he dies so he can leave to his family. So he decides to, you know, create a meth lab and make meth. You know, what other way to make money? So yeah, he decides to make a meth lab, and then that's how the story goes. He does have a partner, and I think his partner was actually the one who introduced him to the whole meth industry and all that stuff. So yeah, is it a cool watch? Another show I would recommend is called The Fosters. The Fosters is basically about this teenage girl who ends up getting adopted by this biracial lesbian couple. At first they're not sure if they want to adopt her or not because, you know, she kind of seems like this troublemaker girl who, you know, isn't really doing good. But as they foster her, they kind of realize, you know, she's just a normal teenage girl with like major issues that she needs help with, you know. So they end up wanting to adopt her. And yeah, she becomes part of this family and they, I don't know, deal with their issues together. One thing that I didn't like about The Fosters was a character. I think that the actress in general is great, but her character was really not, like, she really got me pissed so many times. Her name is Mariana, and I don't know, dude, but she makes a lot of decisions that are kind of like, dude, really, like, why? Like, you know, she disappoints you so much, but you know, she's growing up, so she's learning and everything. But yeah, that was the only character that I kind of didn't like in that show. I don't know. Another show I would recommend to you guys is called The Blue Exorcist. I know, guys, I know. This is only for people who like anime because it is an anime show, but I thought I'd put it in here just because I really like watching animes on Netflix. I think they have a lot of cool ones, so I wanted to share with you guys. So Blue Exorcist is basically about this teenage boy who ends up finding out that he's actually the son of Satan when his dad dies, and he joins this academy. It's called the True Cross Academy, and he basically joins it so he can learn how to master his abilities and his powers so he could beat his dad, which is Satan. And yeah, he actually does have a twin brother, but his twin brother ended up not gaining any of the abilities that his brother has, so he's basically nothing, you know. He's just like the smarty pants. Another anime I would like to suggest to you guys is called 7 Deadly Sins. 7 Deadly Sins is basically about a group of heroes. There's 7 heroes and they basically fight evil. And yeah, the beginning starts with Oni Meliodas, which is the main character of the story. He is approached by this princess who, you know, wants to save her village, and Meliodas ends up trying to look for the other 6 characters because they're not like a group anymore. They used to be, but they're not, and then they're reuniting so they can help Elizabeth save her village or save her country, or I don't know. But I really like this show. The show has a lot of fighting scenes, a lot of action. It's really dope. I really like it. There isn't much to say about it. I think you just need to watch it in order to see how cool it is. Yeah. Another show I would like to recommend to you guys is called Grey's Anatomy. So this is actually a show. Each episode is around an hour long. It's basically for those who want to, you know, commit to a show and commit to something that's really long, because it is 12 seasons long. So unless you're like willing to actually put in that time to watch it, you shouldn't watch it. Anyways, Grey's Anatomy is basically about a group of interns. I don't remember the hospital, but they're starting their first year as interns in this hospital, and the story unravels as they create bonds with each other. Grey's Anatomy has a lot of very powerful messages. They mention a lot of issues that we are dealing with in today's time, so I really like that about the show. It's really interesting, it's really cool. It's legit like a roller coaster watching that freaking show, because it's just so emotional, so sad, but then it's so cool, and you get like so happy for them, and yeah, I like it. So yeah. But anyways, yeah guys, those are 10 Netflix recommendations I would suggest you guys watch. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below if you want to see anything else, and don't forget to subscribe.